And now we will hear opening remarks from Kent Walker, President of Global Affairs at Google, our leading partner for the summit. Kent's remarks will be followed by a joint interview with two NATO ambassadors, David Quarry from the UK and Daivydas Matulionis from Lithuania. That's moderated by our senior reporter, Lily Beyer. Thank you, and I hope you will enjoy the second day of Politico's Competitive Europe Summit. Kent, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lawrence. Thanks all of you for being here. We're here today because new trends in globalization, in rapid advances in technology, and a shifting security landscape are all changing the conversation about how Europe can keep its political edge. There's a clear way to tell who will lead in this fiercely competitive global environment. Just look at the countries who are able to harness leading-edge technologies, like machine learning, and do it boldly and responsibly, both improving economic productivity and solving some of our biggest social challenges. Today, Europe is playing a critical role in shaping the future of machine learning, what some call artificial intelligence. From generative AI startups to Mistral.ai in Paris, or Aleph Alpha in Heidelberg, to new funding programs that are driving cutting-edge AI research and innovation like Horizon Europe, to a rising ecosystem of AI startups across the continent. The future looks bright. But many people have doubts about AI and how it may disrupt existing practices. How do we work together to address those concerns? As we said in a recent white paper, whether you're thinking about the pending AI Act here in the European Union or other regulation of technology, it's important to focus on an affirmative agenda oriented around three different pillars: opportunity, responsibility, and security. Let's begin with opportunity. I've worked in technology most of my life, and I have never seen a technology with more promise for the progress of science than machine learning. Whether it's discovering new mRNA vaccines or creating world-class sustainable manufacturing, machine learning has the potential to benefit people across Europe. Now, a lot of recent attention on AI has focused on chatbots, but a recent report from McKinsey's Global Institute highlights that roughly 3/4 of the benefits will actually come from other, broader forms of machine learning. And AI isn't new if you've been using Google Search or Translate or Maps or Gmail. You've been using and benefiting from AI for many years. But now, with the amount of computing power devoted to AI doubling every 6 months, that's 4 times faster than Moore's Law, we can expect to see AI turbocharging scientific discovery and driving faster work in areas ranging from sustainability to food security to neglected diseases. In other words, AI is bringing us science at digital speed. Now note that I said bringing, not will bring. That future is already here. Let me give you just one example. It used to take a biology graduate student a full doctoral thesis to discover the shape, the folds of a single protein. DeepMind's AlphaFold AI model discovered the shapes of nearly every known human protein. That's 200 million different proteins. That was a breakthrough that gave us the equivalent of nearly 400 million person years of scientific progress, and they did it in a few weeks. That's like taking every man, woman, and child in Europe, training them to be a biology PhD student, and having them do nothing but folding proteins for a year or two. So we made those results public, and now more than 1 million scientific researchers around the world are using them to advance drug discovery and personalized medicine. So now imagine those kinds of advances in other fields like nuclear fusion, sustainability, clean water, precision agriculture, and more. And you start to get a sense of how transformative and how productive this technology will be. And that last point is crucial, because as productivity increases, so does competitiveness. And that's the theme of this conference. And since no technology has more potential to boost productivity than AI, the countries most likely to lead in competitiveness are the ones that will be able to deploy AI and innovate with it at scale. That is going to require new legal and new policy frameworks, ones that promote responsible AI innovation, access to new markets, and investment in new technologies and digital infrastructure, broadband, internet, cloud computing, semiconductors. And that brings me to a second pillar of a successful digital competitiveness agenda: responsibility. How do we ensure that AI is a force for progress with widely shared benefits? It's important to say that responsibility is more than just avoiding risks, not just the mitigation of problems, but also the moral obligation to help improve people's lives and address social and scientific challenges. The other day, President Macron said, on artificial intelligence, the priority is to do both at the same time: regulate and innovate. And there's a lot of truth in that. Technological leadership requires a balance between innovation and regulation, not micromanaging progress, but holding actors responsible when they violate public trust. We have long said that AI is too important not to regulate, and too important not to regulate well. The race should be for the best AI regulations, not necessarily the first AI regulations. Not easy solutions, but hard trade-offs between security and openness, between data access and privacy, between explainability and accuracy. We'll need widespread regulatory expertise because every agency is going to need to be an AI agency. Proportionate, risk-based rules that build on existing regulations and give businesses the confidence they need to keep investing in AI innovation will be critical. Now, let me be clear, there are real challenges ahead: misinformation, disinformation, discrimination, and the future of work. We've been working on AI for a dozen years, so we have some experience here, and we've been working on AI ethics for almost as long. We started a machine learning fairness team back in 2014, and we adopted our AI principles in 2018. And based on that experience, I can tell you that tackling these challenges requires fundamental research, it takes common standards, and it will require aligned regulation based on shared democratic values. To help address misinformation, especially with the 2024 European elections coming up, we're working on technical innovations like watermarking AI-generated images and creating tools to evaluate online information, like the upcoming About This Image feature you'll see in Google Search. We're doing this work because context about the origin of content can help create a safer and more reliable online ecosystem. And AI can also sometimes help counter the issues that AI creates. A decade ago, 1 view in 100 on YouTube violated our policies. Now it's 1 view in 1,000, in part because we're using AI tools to help analyze videos. Beyond avoiding bias and misinformation, we'll also need to address the workforce transition. Even as workers become more productive, work will change. We'll need to support new approaches to primary, secondary education and expand public-private partnerships to upskill workers. As an example, since 2015, Google has trained more than 12 million people across Europe on digital skills. And as we expand our work in AI, we're continuing to partner with governments and with NGOs. So this is going to be an important piece. AI will automate a lot of the tasks we do every day, but won't necessarily change the jobs we do. But workers will need help migrating through this transition. So let me wrap up by turning to the third pillar of the AI policy agenda, the one that's most likely top of mind for many of you and heads into our next session, and that's security. AI can be a net positive in dealing with cybersecurity, helping us see around corners with more sophisticated threat intelligence. We already use it to police the security of our systems, to detect anomalies and potential efforts to break into the security of Google tools. We're also building technical and commercial guardrails to prevent the malicious use of AI. But beyond the individual efforts of any one company, we'll need a collective commitment between governments, across companies, to cooperate on joint research, adopt best-in-class data governance, and share information on AI security vulnerabilities and threat intelligence. To address the emerging risks posed by advanced AI systems, stakeholders could come together in a global forum on AI, building on successful prior examples like the Global Internet Forum to Counterterrorism. And beyond cybersecurity, in a deeper, in a longer-term sense, our national security ultimately rests on our economic security, the productivity of our people that allows them to compete in a global world. And here again, AI is going to be key. These technological advances can not only address our hardest social challenges and solve problems on the frontiers of science, but they can also promote European, transatlantic, and democratic government influence and technological reach as we work for competitive advantage. We're encouraged to see governments stepping up, whether that's Singapore's AI Verify effort, the UK's Pro-Innovation Framework for AI, and of course the European Union's AI Act, the EU-US Trade and Technology Council meetings, and the G7's Hiroshima process. But it's particularly necessary for all of these entities to come together because the work ahead cannot be managed by any one country, any one institution. Getting it right, ensuring the opportunities outweigh the risks, is going to take ongoing conversations, research, and compromise. So when we look back at 2023, we may see it as a defining year in Europe's AI journey. As I said at the start of my talk, the countries that take advantage of this technology boldly and responsibly are the ones that will maximize productivity today and competitiveness tomorrow. Each country, each region needs to ask itself, what is our digital strategy? Not just our cyber strategy to defend, but our digital strategy to succeed. We owe it to each other to get this right through global, pro-innovation frameworks, affirmative policy efforts that maximize the chances of opportunity, responsibility, and security. And we look forward to working with others on both sides of the Atlantic to build bold and responsible AI tools that benefit everyone. Thank you very much.